Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, I guess, depending on when and where you're watching this from. Welcome back to the channel. We've got our patch notes review for Tarkov patch 15 with the wipe, along with Arena patch 2, which also had a wipe. We'll do those second. We'll do the Tarkov patch notes first. Now, currently, right now, I'm waiting. Servers are down. Probably be down for about another 45 minutes or so, give or take. But here is the patch notes, and it's long and it's good. These are really good patch notes. There's some cool stuff in here, so excited to get into it. First up, we got our factory rework. They did a bunch of changes. I wouldn't. Some people are going to say it's just a it's a rework, or it's a revitalization, whatever word you want to use for it. Basically, the layout has changed a little bit, but overall it's still pretty much the same, just based on what we saw from stuff before. But it's been made to look prettier, more purdy. Work rooms, basements, workshops have been refined while maintaining large size objects of the original locations. Some areas of the plant and the cellar area that connects all workways have been expanded, added outdoor areas around the plant, added several new crosswalks at dead-end locations, improved the upper level area in the workshop for easier accessibility, adjusted the spawns and extracts for PMCs and scavs to match the expanded areas, improved the AI behavior for all location changes, redistributed the loot containers throughout the locations, added new tasks to locations. There's not a lot of talk here. I blew through the patch notes because it's just going to be a matter of getting in there, playing around, seeing where the new loot is, see how the new bots react, and then just going from there. So excited to see some of the new maps. Reamer, I imagine he'll be on it pretty quick, getting the new maps done, and some base layouts that we get. I am interested to see if they updated the in-game map, the one that actually comes in the game for Factory. We shall see. I doubt it, but maybe we got lucky. New boss Partisan, the one that's got a lot of people all spooled up because of the karma, but talks about how much not is known about his background. People say he's a combat veteran obsessed with tripwires and booby trap since those days. He is on good terms with Jaeger. Doesn't surprise me, it kind of looks like Jaeger. Their goals and moral compasses seem to be aligned, or perhaps it's their military past that binds them together. Partisan holds firm to his principles in Tarkov, going after the people he believes to be honorless and hunting them down, whether they are PMCs or scavs. That's interesting. So if you have bad PMC karma, or I guess, I'm not sure. This all reads like there's a third karma system. I say a third, a second karma system. It's your PMC karma, but also affects your player scav, kind of, it seems like. It's hard to see. He has no ties to other local bosses and tries not to cross paths with them. His views on traitors are similarly negative, with the exception of Jaeger. Your standing with Fence has no effect on Partisan's attitudes to you, and it cannot be increased or decreased by helping or killing him. So that's the thing that I don't get, is your scav karma doesn't impact Partisan, but I don't know if there's like a second scav karma, like you have one karma with your scav for Partisan and another karma with Partisan for your PMC, or if those are linked. We'll have to wait and see, but that's interesting. The boss appears in a forest type locations. He is more likely to appear in a raid with low PMC karma, or with low karma PMCs. In this case, Partisan will hunt those players down. If they are scavs with low karma in that raid, they will also become his targets. However, any player has to be ready for the traps and expect a firefight when encountering this boss, regardless of their karma. So low karma PMCs are going to make him spawn, but you're going to fight him no matter what. It seems like he's just hostile, period. Like he's not ever going to be your friend. Doesn't sound like. Partisan prefers stealthy approach, taking advantage of terrain, setting traps in advance, and only then engaging in open combat. The process of preparing and exploring a location takes up most of his time. While open confrontations are less frequent, when fighting against multiple opponents, he can lure one of the players to his booby traps, which he has set up beforehand. So I don't know how he's going to lure us, but the booby trap stuff's going to be interesting. And more on that a little bit later in the patch notes. The boss acts alone. He installs tripwires, actively uses grenades, can move quietly through the terrain, and track his targets for a long time across the whole location. So this is going to be pretty wild. I think it's going to be real interesting to see how this plays out. So for karma, add a new hidden parameter karma. The karma value changes depending on the player's actions. Generally, it can be increased by adhering to a more open playstyle and decreased for a dishonest playstyle. So I don't know what that means. The open playstyle, I'll check with the guys that I know that speak Russian and see if there's any other weird translations. I'll have them look at the Russian patch notes and see if this wording, if there's any more context to this, and we'll go from there. The number of triggers that change the value of karma will always be increasing, and the triggers themselves will be adjusted and balanced further. So it's a work in progress. They're going to be screwing with it. In some cases, karma changes can be tracked by a distinctive sound notification. So we'll do our best to keep track of this, kind of get everybody, let them know what's going to cause your karma to go up, what's going to cause it to go down, and go from there. New game event Marathon. This is our map-to-map travel stuff. During the marathon event, locations transitions will only be available in the corresponding game mode. Marathon is available only in PvP mode. Players will receive a unique achievement for completing the marathon event. After the event is over, all location transits will become available in all raids. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if this is going to be something you have to like sign up for. Like, is it going to be a task with a trader and then you do it and then you can play normal if you don't, or if everybody's going to have to do this? We'll just have to wait and see. So it's added the ability to travel from one location to another. To move to another location, the player must enter the transit zone and select the appropriate option in the context menu. Location transits are available after 7 minutes from the start of the raid. During the transit, the player will be able to transit some of the items found in raid, which will be moved to the stash in a certain price. This strikes me kind of working like the BTR. So you're gonna go to move from ground zero to streets, and when you do that, you're gonna get a little box maybe that you can put some of your loot in, and that can transfer to your stash, which is cool because that helps with like quest items and stuff early on here. After transferring the items, the transit timer will begin. When activating the transit and transferring the items, the ability to exit the current location will become unavailable and the player will be forced to use the transit. So my guess is this just going to be a special extract? There's going to be some kind of context menu with it. You're going to pick to do this thing, and then you don't have a choice and you're going to go that route. When attempting to transit in a group, players can use the transit only if all living members of the group are in the transit zone. So it's going to be kind of like the green flare. Well, kind of, not really, but basically everybody has to use it at the same time in order to exit. So it's going to make extract camping kind of worse because you're not going to be able to really clear, and somebody who's patient is going to be able to get a bunch of kills because you're all going to have to be there. So just be careful of that and how that works out. If several players who are not in the same group use the transit at the same time, they will be transferred to the next location together. Solo players can join a group and also transit to the next location together. That's a cool feature. I like this. It's not going to get used a lot because people don't trust each other, but I like this. I think this is a cool way to somewhat reward players to actually work together and not just be kill on sight. So we'll see how that plays out. The available transit directions are marked with a dotted line in the location select screen. So this is going to be your map, and you're going to be like, okay, this is how we did this. I played a hardcore rule set on PvE, and I forced myself to do this. Like, hey, this extract takes me to this map, and I can only travel between the maps that are next to each other kind of thing. And it was actually pretty cool. I liked it. It's going to be awesome, I think, to see this in the game. And hopefully after we get through the event and the map-to-map travel stuff, there'll be some kind of reward for using map-to-map travel. XP boost, some maybe more money, something along those lines. Added the marathon achievement for visiting all locations in one raid. So this is going to be an interesting achievement. A lot of people are going to go for it. I'll probably go for it right out the gate, try to get it done early as I can. Tripwires, the one everybody's freaking out about, which after reading this, you don't have to freak out, man. These are going to be fine. They're going to be interesting. I think they're going to be a lot of fun in the game and add a lot of cool dynamic. Added the tripwire installation feature. Single-use consumable item. The tripwire installation kit is required to install the tripwire. So this is just like I said it was going to be, or I thought it was going to be, is the grenade is going to be treated kind of like ammo for this. The tripwire kit is one thing, and then you put a grenade, which assuming that means you could even use like flash grenades, which I think is kind of funny. Good for just warnings and stuff like that, but nonetheless the grenade is ammo. It's not like there's not like an RGD5 tripwire or a M67 tripwire. It's just whatever you have on you. The item cannot be found in raid or bought on the flea market. The kit will be available for purchase after completing Jaeger's task chain. So we'll have to see which one this is, if it's a new one or an existing one, but that's interesting. When the item is in the inventory, the player gets access to the tripwire mode by using the B key on an appropriate grenade. The grenade must be in the hands to switch to the tripwire mode. So you have to pull your grenade out and then you do the tripwire thing. The tripwire has a minimum and maximum installation length. It can be placed on any flat or slightly inclined surface. So the limits of this is going to be interesting. I'm really interested to see how this UI interaction works and how you go back and forth with it. Tripwires can be activated in a number of ways. By shooting the wire from a short distance. shooting the wire is going to be interesting. I can't wait to try to do some Vasily Zaitsev stuff with shooting wires with a sniper rifle from a long ways away. By hitting the wire with explosion shrapnel, assuming you can, obviously. Hitting the wire with explosive shrapnel, so this means grenades can set them off, which is good. By hitting the wire with any physical object, including player bots or items. So I'm guessing if you throw a gear on the ground, it could set it off. During activation, the tripwire does not explode instantly, but with the fuse delay specified in the grenade's description. Perfect. Exactly like I said, I was hopeful this was going to happen. So you're going to have time. The tripwire is going to go off. Hopefully we get the fuse sound. We'll have to see what audio comes with the tripwire stuff, but it'll be kind of interesting to see. Tripwires can be disarmed. To do so, approach the booby trap grenade and disarm it through the context menu. Disarming takes a certain amount of time. Having a multi-tool in your inventory significantly reduces the disarm time. Yes, finally a use for the multi-tool. This is cool. I like it. After disarming, you can pick up the grenade, use it in the tripwire. Tripwires disarm on their own after a certain amount of time. That's huge. This means somebody can't just fucking set a tripwire at the extract at the start of the raid and then run off and then you're fucked. We'll have to see what the time on this is, but I'm glad they did this. This is a good change. Though it'll be interesting, like if you come up to an extract and you just see a grenade sitting on the ground, or maybe like a abandoned tripwire or something, you'll know somebody had a tripwire there. Yeah, cool kind of thing. Bipods and mounted weapons. Added the ability to mount weapons and use bipods. To mount a weapon, the player must aim at a suitable horizontal or vertical surface and press the mount key, which is V, which is annoying because I think that was my melee key. No, that was my inspect, I think. It sucks. I'm gonna have to change keybinds. The recoil and stamina consumption is reduced when firing mounted. That's good. To mount the weapon on a bipod, press the toggle bipod key. Toggle bipod key. Control V by default. Then point at a suitable horizontal surface and mount weapon key. Sounds fine to me. I'll definitely be changing those around. I'm not sure what yet. Looking at my keyboard and my mouse, I'll be changing those. The recoil stamina consumption of weapon sway is greatly reduced while fired from a bipod mounted weapon. Yay! Mounted the weapon while prone is only available if the bipods are installed and deployed on the weapon. The icon in the corner of the screen will show whether the weapon is mounted or signal that the given surface is not suitable for mounting. So this is just UI stuff. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. It's good that there's some kind of indicators so you're not like spamming buttons guessing. It's good that there's some kind of feedback saying that you can or cannot mount. You know what I mean? New hideout zone gear rack. We got some previews of this, so it's kind of cool to see it. The gear rack zone is added to the extended part of the hideout and has 3 upgrade levels. Each level adds a mannequin, which can be used to display any gear equipped on your PMC. You can equip gear from the mannequin or exchange the gear already equipped by your PMC to the mannequin for the mannequin's gear. So it's kind of like a preset system. You can put the gear there, then you can put it on if you wanted. Pouch items and special slot items do not apply to equipping and exchanging. So this just means that like you can't put gear in it, I think, and then put it on the mannequin. We'll have to see. Mannequin gear is displayed in the list of kits window. You can equip a kit from a mannequin there. New hideout zone, cultist circle. You can sacrifice up to 5 items in the cultist circle. This is a new item in the hideout. And it also, I'm going to skip down here a little bit. Players who have purchased the Unheard Edition will have the cultist circle built instantly. Pay to win! We'll see. We'll see how powerful this actually is, and how long it takes to build it without having the Unheard. I'm not super worried about it. You can sacrifice up to 5 items in the cultist circle. The value of each sacrificed item is added up, so it's cumulative. This total determines the value of items received as a gift from the cultist. The cultist cannot deliver items while you're in the hideout, so you got to go into raid or maybe exit the game. It probably means you have to go into raid. I bet exiting the game. I'll have to see if exiting the game will trigger that. If the value of a single sacrifice is above a certain threshold, there is a 25% chance to receive items needed for active tasks and unfinished hideout zones. So this here is pretty good. I like this because it means that you can actively push to get shit done even if you're getting screwed by RNG. And you can get some pretty high value items here if you think about it. PvE, for example, if all you have left in your hideout upgrades requires power filters, you can get power filters using this apparently. We'll have to see how that balances out and how that works, because power filters in PvE are pretty broken as far as value. The value of sacrificed items is further increased by the bonuses from Sacred Amulet, Hideout Management Skill. So the Sacred Amulet you get from Lightkeeper. And again, free for people who have Unheard Edition. AI enemy reaction system. Added variation in AI behavior when spotting another AI or player in PvE mode. Player behavior model is chosen depending on the lore relationship between the factions. Possible reactions: instant aggression attack, friendly unless shown aggression, total friendliness, warning and attacked if not obeyed, neutral unless showing aggression. The choice of whether to be aggressive depends on the mood of the bot and the faction of the target. For example, if an AI bear encounters an AI USEC, they are more likely to engage them, but not necessarily 100% than they would be if they encountered another AI bear. This is interesting. This is very, very interesting for 2 reasons. One, it shows them getting a far more advanced AI played into here, which means we may see all sorts of interactions between scavs, scav bosses, rogues, the different factions and stuff. But I don't know if this means they're planning on adding AI PMCs to PvP. God, I hope not. Maybe they are. Maybe they're just using this as an example from PvE, but that does worry me a little bit that talking about this and they didn't specify PvE. The decision whether to be aggressive or peaceful is made for both player scavs and player PMCs. The chance of meeting a more aggressive AI PMC varies depending on the location. For example, on ground 0 under level 20, the bots are more friendly. In the lab, they are the most aggressive. Faction interactions will be implemented on balanced further PvE and PvP modes. Good stuff, more dynamic and engrossing, immersive AI. But again, I hope we don't get AI PMCs in PvP. I really hope we don't. They're perfect for PvE. They're great there. They do not belong in PvP, in my opinion. New weapons, equipment, loot. We got the Uzis, new SR3M compact, the Deagle, and it's in 50 AE as well as 357. Some folks were wondering what we were going to get, but you can get both of them with a couple of different colors, it looks like. And then you got the US Ordnance M60E4 LMG. Now, these are the same, near as I can tell. I don't know, it's copy paste error. They forgot to put something there. If there's 3 of them or not, I don't know. But there is one that's FDE, which is cool. I like FDE stuff. Updated visual or updated weapon models for the ASVAL, the VSS, the PP91 Keter. So just updated stuff there. We saw that in some of the preview videos. And then 50 Action Express, which is 50 AE. This is the Desert Eagle ammo. There are technically other guns out there that shoot this. I don't know if we're going to see them or not. It's kind of like 357, though now we do have 357 with the Desert Eagle. But yeah, just another ammo. 4 types of it: FMJ, JHP, Copper Solid, Hawk JSP, Jacketed Soft Point, Jacketed Hollow Point, Full Metal Jacket. For those that don't understand the acronyms, the FMJ is probably going to be the highest pen, but we'll see. Maybe the Copper Solid is. Not familiar with Copper Solid versus Full Metal Jacket kind of stuff. I mean, obviously we'll see when we get them in raid. Other weapon improvements, new weapon attachments, adjust to the functionality of pistol grips on Makarov PM pistols. I like how the Makarov gets its own line. There's a quick drop button on the grip. The interaction animation with the pistol has changed. Improved the AUG A1 and AUG A3 visuals, updated the grip animations, added a visually operating gas piston. Good stuff for the AUG. Added some animation variations depending on the installed attachments for new and updated weapons. So just, it's going to be interesting to see what the animations change on some of the attachments. So interesting to see. Probably going to catch me by surprise the first time I see it. Updated the grenade animations. Sure. We'll see what that means. Cool. Added new types of equipment, armor, helmets, loot, new options for character customization. Interesting. I don't know what that means. That could just be new clothes. That could be new. You could change maybe some of the way some of the gear looks. I don't know. Quality of life improvements. Optic zoom adjustment. Yes. Added the ability to smooth adjust zoom for the following optics: TAC 30, Voodoo, Leopold Mark 4, March Tactical, Vortex, Razor, Schmitten Bender 1-8, Sig Tango 1-6, the Hensoldt FF 4-16, Night Force 7-35, Schmitten Bender 3-20, and then the 5-25, NCR Store P4 Sniper 3-9, KMZ IP59. These are actually really handy scopes, early wipe, so keep an eye out for these. These are really handy, easy to get early wipe. I use them quite a bit. Default hotkeys for smooth adjustment are Alt and scroll up, scroll down. I have to look at that. I don't know. Is that how I crouch? I don't remember. More hotkeys, so keep in mind that. Selecting with a grenade. So now instead of throwing a random grenade, a new icon with a hotkey G is available on the quick access bar. It will display a grenade the player will equip first. You can select the specified grenade by holding G. So if you want to throw a grenade, hold G, probably use your mouse wheel, scroll to it, boom, pulls it out. So now there's no more like random throwing of grenades. This means I can change my hotkeys that I've used for 4 years because I always use 4, 5, 6 for my different grenades. Now I don't have to do that. Kind of nice. Flashlight and tactile device operation mode. Added the ability to activate tactical devices and flashlights by pressing and holding a key. So this means that you can technically turn on a laser with your mouse button, I think. So if you're shooting, a laser turns on. You could have it this way if you wanted. I think that's cool. Or even with an ADS. Keep that in mind. Manual value entry in game settings. Added the ability to manually enter values in game settings, for example, when adjusting mount sensitivity. This is something people have been asking for before I played the game. Down on the bottom, when you could adjust settings with numbers, you couldn't type them in. You just had to, like, 1 pixel at a time, adjust your mouse to get the numbers right. Hotkey adjustments. Updated the sorting order for hotkeys in the control settings. Action. Melee weapon has been reassigned to you. Melee attack has been reassigned to you double click. So more hotkey stuff to keep in mind. Balance changes, simplified the objectives for task setup and long road, made them easier, it looks like. Completed removed trade offer for class 6 body armor, plate carriers, ballistic plates, and helmet modifications from traders. These items can now only be found in raid. So bastion plate can only be found in raid, the up armor apparently, and your level 6 plates are only going to be found in raid, which is interesting. Not even barters for those now. Change the availability of ammo on the flea market. Now all ammo with less than 42 pen is allowed on the flea market with a few exceptions. Be interesting to see what the few exceptions are, but this is cool. I think it's okay. I don't know if it will be. The problem I have with this is as soon as you get to level 15, basically class 4 armor is useless. And this is even putting class 5 armor into a rough area. 42 pen doesn't get through class 5 right away, but it's going to get through it pretty quick. Like I want to say 3 to 4 shots in most cases, even with class 5. So I know a lot of people are going to cheer about this. I would almost prefer this go down a little bit to like maybe 36, 37, but we'll see. I want to see how this plays out. We'll see how it feels, and we'll go from there. Increase the damage of 7.62 by 39, 5.45 39, and 9 by 21 calibers. So these are going to be more damaging now, which is interesting. So 7.62 by 39 PS is going to be the early wipe god ammo, it looks like to me. Slightly reduce the damage of 5.56 by 45. So your M4 ammo. Again, interesting to see what this is because it's not like the ammos were incredibly overpowered. Technical changes, equipment clipping, implemented the anti-clipping system. Now elements of helmets, glasses, masks, collars, headsets will be correctly displayed on the character with any combination. Animations, rework the animation playback system to increase the accuracy of first and third person synchronization when possible. So this is just some stuff that weird would happen where your character does something on your screen, but it doesn't do it on another, or vice versa. Your character does something on somebody else's screen, but not on yours. There's some weird cases of that. So hopefully this addresses a lot of those. Optimize left shoulder animations for more smoothness. Added special door interactions. The number of interactions, object animations will increase further in updates. Does this mean we finally get things like slowly opening a door, open and flash, all that kind of stuff? That's going to be interesting. I'm dig into this and see what this is when we get in, if I can remember. Graphics, redesign the weather condition display system on the player's client, fix the bug that led to unpredictable weather conditions in the raid in certain cases, improve the cloud visual, cloud react to weather changes more realistically, updated, hopefully this means that there's no more raining on a sunny day, updated FSR technology to version 3.0, removed support for FSR 1.x, switched the in-game season to summer, which is a little late considering that it's almost September. Like, I think we should have had this a month or two ago, but I think they were just busy and they said, fuck it, we'll wait. I don't know. Sounds, improved environmental sound system. There's a lot of shit in here that I don't understand, so I'm not even going to pretend. Developed a component that tracks the position and rotation of the listener and moves the source along a predetermined curve, changing not only the position of the source, but it's also exposure angle. By changing the exposure angle of the sound, it becomes more natural. I don't know what this means. I think it means that just based on what direction you're facing, your audio sounds different. I don't know. Implemented a large number of different sound sources to enhance immersion. For example, the flow of water through pipes in factory, the rats running in events, and many small details that are randomly played at specific points from the fall of pebbles, the interference of electricity in the generators, and the air coming out of the boilers. So this is just more immersive sounds, like the dogs barking on customs and shit like that. Which, unless they changed it, keep in mind, those sounds are not synced. You hear them if you're hearing dogs barking, your buddy isn't and other players aren't. They happen at different times. So remember that you're not using those sounds for cover or anything. Transferred the whole algorithm to multi-thread calculations. I think this is a really awesome thing. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is going to be a big deal for performance, and 2, hopefully help with the way the sound works. There's my uneducated 2 cents on that. Finalize the search and calculation of the angle between the source and the listener. Improve the use of depth to determine its effect on the sound. Improve the curves tuning, which is responsible for volume decay and sound propagation in complex geometry locations. This stuff sounds super nerdy, sound engineer, geeky stuff. I hope it just makes the sound better. That's all I hope. I just hope it makes the sound better. With these adjustments, the overall sound is smoother with a better grasp of sound source location. Yay, if it works. Active headset adjustments. Improve the separation of weapon sounds and other sounds into different compressor channels. Hopefully it just means it's easier to distinguish things. Added the splitting of sound subgroups, increased the number of customizable parameters of the control. Adjusted the frequency response, noise reduction level, and compressor values, as well as their technical specifications to match the specs of the real headsets. So this means the headsets are going to really be drastically sounding different again. Hopefully it doesn't mean that there's an advantage or too much of an advantage from one to another. We'll see, but it will give people more personalized selection on their gear because of preferences on audio. Kind of going back to the way they used to be years ago, which I miss that. I like that. Record the real active headsets that are used in game. The sound of shooting and environment sounds in them to allow further fine-tuning. The position of sounds, distance awareness, and the sound of in-game active headsets were noticeably improved. All headsets have their own unique equalizations, resulting in a different sound for all headsets. I think this means we're gonna have to fuck around with headsets pretty heavily to figure out which ones we like. The big guy that did this before was Veritas. I doubt we'll see a video from him, so we'll have to see if somebody with really good sound knowledge is going to dive into these headsets. And maybe I just find somebody in the community that can help me do it. We'll see. Anti-cheat update. This is weird. They don't ever say anything about anti-cheat. So implemented protection against a series of exploits related to monitoring loot on players' locations using forbidden software. Dun, dun, dun. I thought that was funny that they used forbidden software. It just sounds funny to me. So I think, I don't know what this means. I don't know what it's going to end up playing out, or if they're just going to find a workaround in a couple of days like they tend to do. Implemented protection against a series of exploits related to network synchronization, unfair movement using forbidden software. Believe it or not, if they find a way to keep people from speeding around the map, this has one of the biggest impacts on people who cheat in Tarkov, because they're lazy little fucks and they can't stand moving around slow. They won't play Tarkov if they can't zoom around the map. Are they zoomers? Does that make them more of zoomers? I don't know. If they can actually make this stick and keep this holding up, this will have a pretty big impact on a lot of the cheaters, because they're I don't want to get banned from YouTube for the nasty shit I want to say about them. Little fucks. Fixed a number of visual bugs in geometry, textures, and culling on locations. Fixed incorrect status to DSP transmitter and solo PV raid if the player entered the hideout before the raid. I don't know a lot about this, but I know there's a lot of bugs with the transmitter and PvE, so hopefully people can get to Lightkeeper now. Fix the visual artifacts when using FSR 2.2 on Ground Zero and Streets of Tarkov. Fix synchronization of loot state and container when the weapon was folded inside the container. Fix an issue that caused the explosion effect of thrown grenades to be missing in certain cases. Yay, no more ghost grenades. Holy fuck, these things. This got worse. I swear to God, this got worse in the last month of the wipe too. Like, it wasn't just there and we noticed it, it got worse and worse. Fix the incorrect player dog tag status when transferring it through the BTR service. Fix the automatic vaulting triggering when the player interact with the inventory with the vaulting and forward keys pressed. Fix the soft lock when using a weapon that was looted from airdrop. I had this happen to me. It was actually kind of funny. It was like drunk Tarkov. Funny, not funny, annoying, but yeah. Fix the display of repair kit icons when using them in the container. They had a little white box. Small thing, but good fix. Fix the incorrect bot spawn points in PvE mode. Fix the display killer's nickname in the post. This makes me think that like the bots might spawn underground or in walls or something, because there were like, this is why we would explain, like, you wouldn't have any PMCs in a factory raid. There just wouldn't be any there. So I don't know. We'll see. Fix the display of the killer's nickname on the post raid screen in a situation where the killer died before the grenade they threw exploded. This is, somebody threw a grenade at you. If you shot them and killed them and the grenade killed you, it just said you died to yourself. Just died. Hopefully that's totally fixed. Fix the soft lock when closing inventory while clicking and dragging weapons. Fix the Tory Pines Logic T12W sight display showing over the character's hands when fixing malfunctions. Fixing the incorrect behavior of rogues when interacting with USEC faction players. I don't know what this is. I didn't notice anything weird, but we'll see. Fix the incorrect display of KD in short and full profile statistics. Fix the incorrect display when sorting weapons by leveling on the mastering screen. Fix the incorrect display of the longest effective shot in player statistics. My guess is because this added your PMC and your scav distance. So like my long shot distance before, I'd have to go back and look at the stats, but I want to say it was like 1700 meters or something, or 1600, which you can't even do in the game. So yeah, because it added them together. So hopefully I don't know what they did. We'll have to see. Fix the soft lock when interrupting medicine animations in certain cases. Fix the duplicate task conditions in certain cases. Fix the decal display in the hideout. Fix the insurance letter storage time for the unheard edition. That is it. That is all the patch notes. Now, this isn't going to be everything. They always make changes and they don't make it into the patch notes. Once I get into the game today, I'll let you guys know. I got about 15 minutes here. I need to get going live. So we are going to blast into the arena patch notes, and they're short and they're easy. I will make sure the editor gets the clip for this, though. They do have custom presets now, and watch the video BSG put up because it's pretty good. Everything's reset. ARP values, if you were less than 2,000, you got set to 1,500. If you were more than 2,000, you got set to 2,000. This just means right out the gate, people will get a little bit of separation, so you don't have like Diamond Maximus fucking ultra players playing against Billy Bob Joe, who plays on the weekend right out the gate, which, or at least for the most part, which is good. Sometimes it still happens. Custom preset system. This is really complicated. I don't want to get into the patch notes here too much about this. Basically, if you watch the video, you can see as you pick gear, there's going to be little slider bars, metascore, if you will, that will determine what you can play and probably where you fall into, like with matchmaking. So it's just going to be there's going to be a potential for a lot of content here, showing people here's a nice balanced way the kit, or don't put this in your kit, or this, that, and the other. So that's good. But there's going to be starter presets. There's 3 starter presets available in each class, which will help you unlock stuff. The collectible presets will be improved and adapted for custom preset system and returned to the game in the nearest updates. Tiers, the preset tier system has been fully removed from the game. Class system, the CQB class has been renamed the Enforcer. Each piece of the equipment is assigned to a class. The equipment can be available for all classes or only specific locations. I'm gonna laugh if the editor doesn't catch some of these things because I'm going so fast. Sometimes they miss them because just how you work with each other. I didn't leave them pauses. So if they missed them, because I'm not gonna have a chance to review the video, by all means, make fun of me in the comments. Especially if you guys are this far into the video, if they miss some of the little word flubs and stuff, it'll be funny. Added armor to the game. The armory acts as equipment store and handbook. You can buy equipment for 2 main currencies, rubles and GP coins. To purchase some equipment, you will need to meet certain conditions, such as completing daily tasks or reaching a certain character level. This is cool. It just gives more progression and desire to unlock stuff. Some equipment will be available when you unlock or purchase certain weapons, such as basic weapon attachments for this weapon. Some equipment is available immediately after the start of the game. In the armory, you can see links for the equipment. For example, you can see what equipment can be installed on a particular item. All ammo and armor elements, basic ballistic plates, except for a few ballistic plates, are available immediately and do not require purchasing or locking. Good stuff. I am eager to get into this and see how this all works and functions. Again, check out the clip. Hopefully the editor's got it playing as I'm talking through this. Weapon progression system. Add a progression and leveling system for all weapons. Levels are earned for kills in a match. Experience is awarded for the weapon used to score the kill. It doesn't matter if you win the match or not. So technically you can pick up a weapon probably and get experience for it, even if you don't have it, which I like. I think that's a good system. I think Call of Duty does that. In fact, I know it does. Does do that. The experience amount for a single kill is set to 250 XP for team fight, blast gang modes, and 100 XP for last hero. Double and triple kills are rewarded an increased amount for experience. This is great. Each class has a 100% experience bonus for the first game of the day with no weapon limit. For example, you can use the same weapon in different classes and receive several first day bonuses. Please note that you can only receive 1 class bonus per match. So it's probably going to be whichever one you finish with if you're in a match that you can trade. When changing presets during in match blast gang hero, experience is distributed based on the number of kills on the weapon. Once unlocked, weapon attachments are given free, are available for installation on any available weapon without the unlock against them. The number of levels on different systems may differ from each other. For example, the M4A1 has 30 levels, while the AK-74 only has 7. Some weapon attachments can be in the progression of several weapon systems at the same time at different levels. To get such attachments, you only need to unlock it once in any weapon. Great. It's almost like they learned from Call of Duty on this. That's a fucking great deal, because Call of Duty didn't do that right last time, or well, I don't know about last time, but one of their bad games that they've made over the years. Daily and weekly tasks. They greatly simplified them, remove complex and multi-part tasks. Weekly tasks now have guaranteed rewards on the Lega medal. Good. Tasks for team fights and blast gang have been merged except for the unique tasks. Added a new objective for team fight mode. Add a new objective for blast gang mode. Change the starting items for following edition. Standard edition, 60,000 ruble or 600,000 rubles, 50 GP coins. Rizzy edition, 800 and 100 GP coins. So stuff you can transfer right away unless you want to use it in arena. But that's it. I am gonna go live. I will be live all day today playing this. Hopefully I'm not missing out on the patch right now. Nope, we're here. All right, appreciate you guys. As always, thank you for watching. I wish you the best of luck this wipe. Enjoy the game mode. Go give arena a try if you haven't. Give it a shot again. I'm not paid or sponsored. It's a game mode I want to be successful, and I want its integration to matter to Tarkov. So hopefully it will be good. You'll be able to see me playing it. You can ask me. I'll try to get in some today. We'll see how grumpy Liston is about it. If he wants to go duo, he probably won't because he's a big baby. Thanks, guys. Good luck. We'll see you in Tarkov.